Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. So, hey, I don't have a lot of time to hang out this morning because we got some insurance stuff going on, that type of thing. And so I put out that video yesterday of Ed and myself doing a video. This is right here. Doing a video of our talk together. And right now, apparently, Katerina Schultz is masquerading around Tijuana, finally looking up a real story because they're being called on it. Loyalty's a big deal, man. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't super interesting, I know. You know, maybe I should pause it and start over. You can't see it, but I'm melting some butter. Maybe I should go like this. I'm melting some butter to make some toast. A little bit of Marmite. A little bit of coffee. I'm a simple guy, dude. I'm not pretentious, puffed up, proud. One second, I'm going to throw this away. Pretentious, puffed up, proud, or any of that other garbage. You know, I am. What you see is what you get. And so, you know, I finally got the premier cartel expert in the entire world. Come on, Vito, what do you do with all the knives? In the entire world to sit there and do an interview with me. For quite a while. And you know, it's amazing to me that I can have that guy on camera for like 2 hours, right? For 2 hours. And there's zero bullshit detected on his end towards me. Nothing in the interview that came up. I'm 1,000% legit. And this goes to my point. You know, my wife's a little mad at me right now. I gotta be honest. She is. She's got great taste in plates, though, man. I love that. So, I got my little pieces of toast. Melting a little bit of butter. There we go. Got the butter going on here. Pour a little bit on. Drizzle, drizzle. Not too much because you got to burn all that shit back off in the gym. That's right. There we go. A little bit of Marmite, just like Brill Cream. Little dab will do ya. They love to run their fingers through your hair. Brill Cream. A little dab do ya. You look so dab on there. Not a lot, man. Just a little bit. Because if you put too much on, it's over the top. So, you know, I've got this guy. And he's doing a 2-hour video with me. But really, that's not the story. The story isn't mine and Ed's interview. My wife's mad at me because she doesn't always agree with the way that I do things. And I get it. My wife is like a very, you know, I'm going to stick a little bit more butter on here. Fuck it. We'll do a few extra laps. Don't burn it. There we go. Okay. Pausing this to go down. So hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Gonna have some toast. So, you know, I spent a long time Louis Floyd Henry. Marmite, man, you gotta love this stuff. Yeah, baby. Ooh, Earth people. Louis Floyd Henry, man. One of my favorite musicians, man. I watch him all the time. I think this should be good. I know about where my head's gonna be. And then shot, frame shot. So anyways, hey, good morning everybody. You guys already saw me making some toast, having it. Didn't want to eat it on camera. Love this dude, man. So hey, I just uploaded that video with that, like I said. You know, I've been writing people for a long time with my experience, and Ed's in that video that was just on here. We'll go back to it right now. There it is. This guy. You know, why did that change? Because, yeah, it's not even over yet. But, I'm right here talking with Ed for a couple hours. Oh, it must have been a commercial. That had to have been what it is. I don't monetize any of my videos. Miguel, one of my subscribers, asked me today, he's like, you know, you didn't sell any merchandise. And to be honest, I haven't really thought about it. I'm not a guy that's motivated by money a lot. When I was a boy, after my mom and dad got divorced, we grew up on 5-pound blocks of government cheese, powdered milk, white cans of peanut butter. The neighbor gave my mom a sack of rotten potatoes, and we were so hungry she cut the half rotten portions out of the potatoes and made potato soup with it. And it was the most delicious potato soup I ever had in my entire life, in a place called Nevada, Iowa. There's a small town in Iowa. It's called Nevada, not Nevada. And we were right there, eating that potato soup. And there's a lot of things in my childhood, you know, eating popcorn for like a week straight because my mom didn't have a lot of money. I'm not really motivated by money all that much, you know. I'm not motivated by people telling me what to do. Not you, Miguel. Not you at all. I'm referring to like the authorities. I've been putting out emails to all of these people for a long time, man, and they've never, ever, ever responded to me. And here I am. I have the premier cartel expert in the United States, and I'm talking with him for 2 hours, and there's no BS detected on his part towards me. And every single time I send proof of what I did in Mexico to any single one of the major podcasts, including this guy, emails. I get all my own emails. I read them, but I'm just a little itty-bitty channel. But I still read every single one of them. And these guys, they have teams of people that work for them. And they get their emails. Whoa, hey, there's a white guy that was down in Mexico working as an agent. That's kind of newsworthy, a little bit, when you're reporting on cartel stuff. Especially in, like, one of the hottest zones in the entire country. Not my words, but even Ed says it. Crazy hot. Beheaded people and shot people everywhere. Mass graves, the whole thing. I come back to this country and I'm mostly quiet about it because, you know, I'm happily married, focused on work and school. And that's just basically what I've been up to for the last couple of years, you know. More than a couple. Not a few. Yeah, about a few. Haven't tried to capitalize on my story in any way, but then I see this guy right here talking to Dan Crenshaw, and I start putting out more emails. And to be honest, to rectify something going on there, Ed and I have actually spoken on 4 occasions. Once on Facebook while I was still at work in Mexico. Once via telephone when he was living in Modesto or something like that. He was there. We spoke briefly. Once a few days ago by telephone. And then this interview right here. And before that, I had emailed him and Sean Ryan and Katerina Schultz and Vincent Vargas and every single Lex Fridman, every single podcast you can think of, Johnny Mitchell, all of them, Tommy G, Julian Dory, Dalton Fisher. I can go down the entire list of every major YouTube personality you can think of. And I haven't got even an email back until Jesus over at Camp Canyon gave me the shot and sold me to Camp Canyon, Mark and all of his guys, and I'm completely grateful of that. This channel, this one right here, my bullshit little channel, this one, was founded just to make sure that these people are telling us the truth, that they don't hurtle us off to war, just like they did with the global war on terror for 20 years and then wind up arming the Taliban with $7.1 billion worth of American tax-paid armament. And I know I'm not the smartest cat out there, I know that. But I'm also not stupid. My mom taught me how to play chess when I was 4 or 5 years old. My grandfather was a grandmaster in chess, and I don't know what my rating is right now. It's probably 1,700, 1,800. Which is respectable. It's not a master or whatever, but it's respectable. I haven't been playing a lot. My game's kind of weak. I play sometimes. But I'm not stupid, okay? And when I see people saying stuff on YouTube about something that I experienced and lived for myself at work 4 years professionally in one of the hottest zones in the country per head, and then I can't even get so much as an email back from these people, I start getting suspicious about a lot of things, of which Ed's last name. What is it? In Mexico, you are required to use both last names, and in Mexico, per Ed, a lot of the police or your co-workers are already compromised, so the bad people already have your last name, so there's no reason to hide it. And I'm not bashing on Ed. I like Ed. Ed seems nice and agreeable to me. He's welcome in my home for dinner. That being said, they've wanted me to sign non-disclosure agreements, him and his business partner, Eddie Dennis, and I like Eddie Dennis too. You still have to call things by their proper names. I'm not shitting on Ed, and I'm not shitting on Eddie. I like them. They're welcome here in my house right now where I'm drinking this coffee. Vincent Vargas and Katerina Schultz, Gafe 423, Sean Ryan, Joe Rogan. I reach out to all of these people, including Ed and Eddie, and have for a long time. And in the emails, in text messages that I have with Eddie Dennis, they've been aware of me for like a year. They don't want my chopper, they don't want my $10,000, etc., etc., etc. And none of them gave me an audience or a return email until my story started blowing up on Camp Canyon. Which means that this whole time that they've been aware of me, and now that they can't shut me up because I'm starting to become a little famous, low-key famous, now they have to address me. But why now and not before? Was my uniform not as valuable before, my service? And I never crow about my own service. I've been shut up for a long time, not trying to capitalize on this at all, until they start talking to our politicians, until we got Canadians coming here to this country that have never spent a day in Mexico, actually at work, working with any serious Mexican news agency on a tourist visa. I challenged Katerina Schultz to show her FM visa to see exactly what type of visa she's in Mexico, as being that she likes to claim that she's based out of Mexico after working at Canadian Broadcasting Company for only 1 year. You know what happened there? These people all sell you a lot of bullshit. They don't back any of it up. They put a whole bunch of people on YouTube with balaclavas just like I got over there. Hold up. One sec. I just go like this, and all of a sudden, I'm in a Katerina Schultz or Vincent Vargas ironclad special about some low-life scumbag or Tommy G in the mean streets of Tijuana doing bullshit. And you know, a lot of people don't know, but when we work down there like this, we all see each other and know each other by our eyes. So this fucking balaclava is worthless. It doesn't mean shit. And they don't do any of their stuff to improve any of their sources ever. And I've been watching this for a while. And then, to make it matters worse, they're in country on a fucking tourist visa. And then I got people like Johnny Mitchell who are going to sit there and challenge me, having worked in Mexico, about whether or not Mexicans are actually fabricating methamphetamines in the United States with precursor drugs that they drag in from China or source from Mexico in one way or another, then produce it here. And then a week later, you got Judge Janine Pirro sitting right there reaffirming what I just got done telling Johnny a couple weeks earlier on his podcast in Austin. And you know, this whole time, I've never tried to cash in on my story at all. I come back to this country and there's Zetic cartel and narco flicks all over fucking Netflix. I haven't talked to anybody about my story. And when I do try to talk to pseudo journalists that are pseudo covering whatever yarn they want to spin, I get crickets from all of them and have for a long time. And now I've got the premier guy right here on the screen behind me. I still wonder what his last name is, and I wonder why I'm not worth contacting until I get airtime on Camp Ganyan, when they were aware of me previously, when I'm uploading videos with 10 grand in cash in my hand, talking to them when I'm at the La Brea Tar Pits in LA. You know? I wonder these type of things. I know for a fact I created a dark web site trying to lure these people in, and I've contacted people on their Instagram accounts, Katerina Schultz, directly trying to give them cartel sources, which was actually bait, and not so much as a nibble, which means that they're not at all concerned with bringing you the truth at all, whether it's brought or offered from my side, being a legitimate government agent for the Mexican government, or whether it's brought to them by the other side, which means what could be a cartel lead, and they don't even respond at all, which means they're over there completely fabricating whatever the fuck they want, and it's that simple. I've got all the emails and the websites and everything. My Ubuntu website set up on my little throwaway laptop, everything. And this whole time, nothing. And then I get your premier expert, and there's zero bullshit detected. And you have my first name, my last name, videos of me at work, my co-workers on video that you've already seen, my government-issued documents posted on my YouTube page, and every other manner of proving that I am who I am, right down to the serial numbers on the weapons that I carried, both my Fall, ARX, and others, my Beretta, or Glock, rather. I don't know if my Beretta PX4 Storm was on there, but all these serial numbers, my rank, copies of my gafetes and my carta de portación that I had to turn in when I left, and pictures of them, so you know exactly what they look like. And still, even with all of that backing up my story, none of these mainstream journalists, especially Sean Ryan and Joe Rogan — Ed's been on Sean Ryan several times, and Ed in this video talking about the section of the country I worked in being much hotter than where he was at. And still, I've got crickets. So, I'm going to kind of wrap it up with this. I started this channel with a sense of loyalty and not being motivated by money. I'm not trying to sell you anything. There aren't any ads in my videos. None of that shit. Which means that my intent to bring you the truth is pure. It's not motivated by greed, okay? Avaricio in Spanish. Also, I'm loyal to you, and I'm blowing up, torpedoing the chance probably to have more interviews with this guy, because he's not going to like that I put this out on my channel. But you know, I don't like not having people be loyal to me. I'm loyal to my platoon, I'm loyal to my wife, I'm loyal to my general, I'm loyal to my friends, my family, and the people that have helped me along the way, okay? And I'm loyal to you, the viewer, either Mexican or American, because I want you to know that what you see on YouTube isn't bullshit, and a lot of it is. I would require these guys to come up with more substantial proof of what they're doing rather than just a couple guys in a hotel room with a balaclava on just like this. Instead of this, Gafe 423 just disappears like a fart in the wind when I start asking him about Ed's last name, and all three of us apparently are anti-cartel operators for the Mexican government, or were. But when a bridge like me comes along to this country to be able to convey this in a way that Americans would more readily understand, being that I was born here, and being that I worked in one of the hottest areas of the country, crickets. And so loyalty, where was the loyalty they showed me when I've been asking them for the opportunity to talk for more than a year? Because this channel didn't just start a year ago. This channel started actually being blown off by Travis Haley, who said that who Ed claims trained him, by the Navy SEALs, the Department of Defense, just asking if they actually sent Navy SEALs to Tijuana, like that's some national secret, to train these guys, or vice versa. And at every step of the turn, up until I met the guys over at Camp Canyon, I was greeted with silence. Abject silence. Like not even, hey, we're not interested, Mr. Frank, which means that they're not interested in bringing you the entire truth. And that's something that I would challenge. And also, I have to bring it up, but everything that I put out there has to be true, because otherwise I could be sued for libel or slander or whatever. You know? Every single thing that I'm telling you is absolutely true. I have the email trails to go back years documenting this. And nothing. And then all of a sudden you have a Canadian, Katarina Schultz, who's 1 year out of school going to Canadian Broadcasting Company, the premier Canadian news station, for a year. She gets out of it and all of a sudden she's based out of Mexico. Her words, on God knows what type of probably tourist visa. I would be shocked if it was not. With zero connection to any major Mexican news agency like Televisa, like TV Azteca, any of that stuff. Univision, Telemundo, none of that stuff. None of it. And all of a sudden she's a premier cartel expert along with this guy. And brought to you by the likes of Sean Ryan, Joe Rogan, and others. Julian Dory. Just get the whole list on there. And this guy right here, Ed, is talking to Kash Patel's girlfriend, Marissa Strite, who runs PragerU. And you guys start wondering whether it's all just something that's designed to be given to you, fed to you piecemeal, to get you to think a certain way. You got to start questioning the motives behind all of this stuff, because if I am as legit as I am, and I've got this guy right here saying I am, why the complete silence for more than a year? And then I finally get a break. So, you know, that's enough out of me right now. I got to get. But, you know, I really kind of wanted to bring this to you. And as far as like the other yahoos telling me that I didn't have a past, I've been very candid about my entire life. Also, to let you know that what you're getting from me is real. I'm coming up on 500 subscribers. My intent and purpose is to bring this to you and let you decide what you want to do with it. You know, why he doesn't want to give the world his last name, but he'll jump all over national TV like it's some type of security thing. You know, it doesn't make sense. His accent, lack thereof, is extremely curious too. And again, I like him and I like his partner, Eddie. I still have these questions at the end of the year. So I'm going to let you be the judge of why none of these people ever want to talk to me and block all their comments in their YouTube videos every time I've got something to say. And not just from my account. I've got friends that also go on their things and they let me know and they screenshot all of it. And they block our comments on their YouTube channels. I don't block any comments on my YouTube channel, man. None. Nothing's blocked. And so that's enough out of me for the day. I posted the video so people can have a look to see what there is. And we'll see where my channel goes. I'm focused on finishing up my degree in computer science here, because I program a lot, but also turning that into a law degree so I can help people. That's what my intent is, and I'm going to put a book out. Selling merchandise, I haven't really thought about that, man. Miguel, thanks for that comment. Oh, it's me, Ben, Mike, Nightman, all of my supporters, man. I want to thank you very much. And I just want you guys to have the truth, man. That's it. Haven't asked you guys for a nickel. That's something else, too. Johnny Mitchell and his, for things that I can't reveal publicly. I'm sitting there recording this in a strange studio, and I'm getting a good sense about how everything works behind the scenes, which is why I just uploaded this the way it is, so you can see what it's like. For Patreon accounts, they make their bread and butter off this, man. Johnny's condo is probably pretty nice. I saw where it was. Decent place. I'm not going to say exactly where it was, but, you know, none of these words are words that I'm coming out of my mouth. If you see it come out of my mouth on videos, it's something I said. When they say that it's something I can't reveal publicly, that's their words, not mine. And things will get twisted around or whatever. I'm grateful for all the opportunities that I've been given as far as going on their shows, but as far as the people that have blown me off, you know, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot trying to have an opportunity to talk to them. Maybe I'm not. Let me make sure this thing's still recording. It is. I'm going to button this up because I got stuff I got to do. Got a ton of homework due tomorrow, man. I'm a real guy. I'm an average, everyday American, just like you. And what I want to do with the rest of my life, you know, I want to thank Sean for his bios that he reads about his guests. And I'm not impressed enough with my own life, so I have a lot more to accomplish. I was there doing that for several years. But now what? You know, we cannot rest on our laurels, and the glory of the past is fleeting. You know, what am I going to do now to actually help people? And I already know it's with the law and moving forward in that direction. You know, because this, chasing something I used to do, is meaningless. You guys having the truth is not, however. So that's why I put this out. And if you don't like me, you know, get in line. All my trolls, you know, I've got nothing to say to you because you're not worth my time. But to the people that actually want to question why these major YouTube companies are sitting there opining on something that's of international consequence to all of us, you know, I would question them a lot more than they're being questioned currently, because they've been given free run of the dog pen just to say whatever the hell they want without proving any of it. Slap on a balaclava and a set of goggles and you got yourself a fucking YouTube channel if you got enough money behind you, and that's bullshit. That shouldn't be that way. Cheers, man. Enough out of me for right now. Talk later.